penetrate to the darkness just behind the two pupils at the back, or the two pupils of the eye. Means the same thing. So with the inner eye, you have to look minutely, penetratingly into the middle of whatever you see within that space which lies here between the two eyebrows, and that's the back of it. You look minutely into it, you see, and constantly, even for a while, for 2 or 3 or 4, you have to learn to stay on there longer by practice. There's no high road to that mind. That you have to do it by practice. Of course, love of the Master will help you ahead. When you sit, just sweet in loving devotion, full faith, even if you do not see the Master within, he is always with you, just like a blind man. If he is told your Master is come, he simply sits. Now he cannot see the Master, but still he is wide awake with something, feeling that doing something in the presence of the Master. So whenever you sit, first create that ground, I would say, that aura. Sit down with your prayer, with sweet devotion to the Master first, and then start your practice. If you do it only as a gymnastic sake, that will have little no results, you see. As also, just sit at the door and wait. This is next thing. Don't be clutching for one thing or the other. It is for the Master to give. Yours is to sit only at the door and wait. Or Master you to give an example that if you sit at the door of some rich man, he daily passes through his door and sees you are sitting thereby. 1 day, 2 days, may not ask who you are. After, when you don't leave the door, he comes, well, they know what you want. If you are sitting at the door, that's the door back the eyes, you see. That's the door leading to God, you see. If you sit over there, after all, the God has to ask what you want, you see. So sit at the door, you see, quite cut off from all outer environments. No thought of the body below and all outside. Fully, wholly, solely, wholeheartedly, with all your strength, with all your love, with all your devotion, whole penetrating eye, see, look into it, what is before you, and wait. That's all you do. Results will come of themselves without asking for it. Master power is over your head and will be giving you help unasked for it. Ours is to sit quite cut off out of body, out of environment, and the body itself. You be there, are your Master of God. That's all. If you do that way, you are sure to succeed. There's no reason why you should not succeed. There always lies something wrong with us in doing the practices. What are the difficulties we have in our practices? We do devote time, but even then, with all that, we do not succeed in having results. There are many reasons for that. There are many obstructions on the way. First of all, we remain conscious of the body. You see, we are doing sitting, this and that thing. You have to be just cut off all consciousness of it. Don't think of the body, please. You're the indweller of the house. With the inner self, you have to look something before you. And that is one thing. The other thing, sometimes we are involved in the breathing going on. Breathing process going on in the body. That starts from the navel, goes up to the mouth, You are conscious of that breathing process going on. You are naturally in the body. You cannot transcend the body. As during the day or at night, doing any work, breathing process goes on. You are not aware of it, not conscious of it all the time. Similarly, when you sit in your practices, leave it. No thought of the process going on. You read, you write, you think, you write, you invent so many things. And all the breathing is going on, but you are not conscious all the time, isn't it? So while sitting also, we should not be conscious. Let it go on. This is second thing, you see. Third, sometimes we do the work at over here, looking how far we have come up, how far we have withdrawn. In that case also you go down the seat of your soul in the body. Almasi used to say, well, while sitting here, do Simran. While sitting here, do Simran. You think of the breathing process in the body, you think you are down, not there. First be there, remain there. You are there already. Simply we are in the habit of, what you say, we are so much identified with the body that we think we are the body itself. That's all. Hello, come on. You follow me? This is the third thing. If you watch the process of withdrawal going on the body, what is the result like that? In withdrawing, one feels very excruciating pains in the body. That is why what we experience, you see, what did Saint Plutarch say on the subject? He says, the experiences this one has at the time of death in withdrawing, the same experience one has when he is initiated into the mysteries of the beyond. No new thing. Again I repeat this thing, only to let you know that I am giving you the old thing. If you watch the process of withdrawal of the spirit from the body, naturally you will feel pain. You cannot go on. But if you stick at the seat of the soul, at the back of eye, with no thought of the breathing process or the withdrawal process going on in the body, you will see in no time, I would say, that you are there and body is below. Just an air you take out from a buttock, there is no pain whatsoever, just smoothly goes out. Simply and solely withdrawn, then there, without any pain in the body. But if you watch the progress of it, how far I have gone up, in that you will feel pain, you cannot do the practice. You will be down. You will have no experience. With the third I am telling you, still more. Sometimes you do withdraw from the body, you are anxious to have one thing or the other. You see? Clutching. That has not come, this has not come, I should see this and that, why master is not coming, like that. Your intellect is wrestling. This should be stopped. Only then the experience of self will come. You see? So this is the fourth or fifth thing, you see? No hurry, no ways, you sit at the, you are at the door, that's all. That's that one place saying, you hear, always try to be at the door. This is the door of the master, you see back the eyes leading from the body onward, through which the soul has to leave the body and go ahead into the beyond. Always remain at the door of the body. Even if the master, you see, what you say, turns you away and by whole already, even then remain there. That's the only door where you can go ahead. So if you learn to sit at the door at the back of the eyes, you will have experiences sure and certain. Don't you betray any doubt in my talk. Definitely I will say. The pity is that at times we do not follow the instructions accurately. That is why they hold on. When you sit relaxed, repose all your hopes to Him in full devotion and faith, and that is all you have to do. And then along with it, this is not the whole thing, we should do repetition of the charged words given to you. That is safeguard against all deceptions within, to save you from being entangled in these deceptions inside. That's an open sesame, I would say, the way up. That helps you, gives you better onward. And that repetition is also be done in an accurate way, I say. There's also something like difficulty with us. Sometimes we go on repeating, doing the repetition word with the mouth, in the gullet, or in the heart. Again you're down in the body. So you have to repeat the names mentally only with the tongue of thoughts, you might. Just as you met somebody some days back, you had a long talk with him. Today you are sitting remembering that man met me, I told him that much, and he told me in reply like that. All these things you repeat in your memory. Your tongue, gullet, or the heart is not involved, you see. Do it mentally, you see. But not quickly, like that. You're keeping your inner gaze fixed. Keep that inner gaze, continue looking to it minutely and constantly. Don't leave off that. Side by side, if you do mental repetition mentally, quickly, either that repetition will remain or that, because at one thing you cannot think of two things. You follow it? Keep your inner gaze fixed, minutely, constantly, penetratingly into what you see. Look more minutely.
Can I ask?
Just as you fill the air in the tire, you see. You fill in again and again and again like that. Look minutely, more minutely, still more minutely. Continue that. And with that you have to repeat the names, charged names, very, very slowly. Very, very slowly. I don't mean in whispers, not that. I mean at intervals. You have to get only the charging from the words. You are not think of the meanings of the word, mind that. There are also little intellect work, you see. These are the, if you do that way, you'll see. You'll go up, see for your own selves what is laid down in scriptures. You'll see the light of God, you'll see the master within, you'll go ahead day to day. But for that one thing, helping practice is a regular practice. This is doing correctly, accurate way, I will explain it to you. And that constant regularity is required, day to day. Let no day pass without devoting time to this spiritual practice. This is the food of the soul, you see. That is the bread of life. Give bread to the soul first and then bread to the body. Make it a point. This is most important. You see? And it is pity to say that we have no time for this. We say we have no time. We must find time, I say. Because suppose your end comes today. You get a notice that you're leaving at 12 in the night today. What is it? Are you prepared? There's no notice given. That fortunately in the case of the initiate, they do get some notice beforehand. But only to those who do something. When all the time he has not done anything at all, the end will come. Thou at the very moment of ending, Master might turn up. But not before. So that is why I'm laying stress on this thing. Give time regularly. Let no day pass without giving sufficient time to relax. You see? I always enjoy 4 hours a day, 2 in the morning, 1 in the evening, and 1 at night. Man putting in that much time will never have any cause for complaint if you do it correctly. Out of 24 hours. You cannot put in 4 hours in the beginning when I start from 2. Go up to that extent. At least when I came to my master, I asked him how much time I should put in for the spiritual practices. In 1924, he said, always put in 5 to 6 hours a day, at the least, and the more you can put in. After all, we have to invert, you see. Leave out all past lives. Take the case of this life only, from the birth so far. For years and years to God, we have become quite controversial, going outside, habituated. That has become our nature. So we have to just put in sufficient time for inversion. We complain, mind does not stand, wanders away. Well, yes, what is the fault of the mind? That has been accustomed. That has become his habit. He had found as it was nature. You have to unravel it by giving time, you see. Anyway, however worst he is in life, I tell you, the most vagabond, I would say, even the Descartes, even if he comes and do these practices in a correct, accurate way, and for future life he has to just conduct, change his life for the future, he can reach and see God. There's no doubt about it. Because that power overhead works, helps, unasked for. To meet a master, you see, it is a great blessing in life, I would say, man can have. To come to a right master, to a competent master, not the so-called master, the world is full of them, you see. So this is the accurate way of the practices which are enjoined on each one of you. If you be regular, and at the same time, something more is to be done to help this up. That is self-introspection. You see? Just examine your life daily, where you fail. I've just dictated the other thing, just have a diary form prepared on the lines I suggested, you see. Non-violence, truth, chaste life, and love for all, selfless service. These should be observed in word, deed, and thought. All failures under these headings should be weeded out one by one. Even if you do not progress on the way I say, no experience of the beyond you have, even then you will have a bliss and peace at heart. You will have transvision, developing your effect. You create that ground, but this is the ground on which the Son of Divinity will rise. So always introspect your life, what you do in the day. The failures you note under these heads, almost this will go all, you see, 8-fold path of the Buddhists, 12 commandments of the Christ, you see, and other things laid down by Hindu Shastras. They all come under these 5 heads, you see. You'll find. So you weed out imperfection from day to day, that will help in your progress on the way. So these things taken together, you can progress wonderfully. I see in India. Here too, here there, not all, they're progressing wonderfully. They submit their diaries regularly, and they are progressing nice. Even they have to send someone of the third plane, even 1 or 2 are read the first plane too. Highest plane too, even now, within 3 or 4 years. So there is hope for everybody, I say. And Master says so, Guru Amadas, he was in search of this truth. He was going around to find out some master, the right way up. when he was searching for it up till the age of 70 years, ultimately came across the Master Avatar. What does he say? He says, I was just like you, just working the body and the indriyas. I was just like you as you are now, but now I have got some higher place with the grace of my Master. Master do not say that he come down from heaven straight up to give you this or that thing. Simply for the reason, they say we are men first. Man is the teacher of man. A crow, you see, cause, what does it? He gathers together all the crows. Monkeys chatter, they gather together all their, in their language, all the monkeys. So man, when he talks to man, he should gather out all men alike, you see. Man is the teacher of man. You learn, start as a man and develop, and you will see that you are something else. Unless you see these things with your own eyes, you cannot be convinced. If one or the other man has not that experience, I tell you, there is something wrong in doing it. The main points I have explained, just keep in your memory, and if you do correctly, of course, give regular time like that. A day off, if you leave a day off without it, it will take another 7 days to bring you up to the level you have left off, you see. In the beginning, you see, when you develop, when a man becomes an actor, you see, he, while eating, while sleeping, while going here, there, he acts in his own way. When you are fully developed, you are, in all phases of life, you will remain there. A Kabir at one place says, look here, while I am standing or talking or eating or going or lying, I am in this same place. How to think, do not, you see, just divide me off that place. While talking, I am also there. While sleeping, I am there. While doing all these things, then I am engaged in that thing. So that is a state to be developed in time. Rome was not built in a day. A wrestler, you see, does not become a wrestler in one day. You have to do practices. Of course, time factor is necessary for all these things. So I think you do accordingly, you will have no cause for complaint. Regular submission of diaries, I think may not be monthly, maybe after 2 months, maybe after 3 months, but keep regular day-to-day diary. That will give you two things, you see. One thing, if you are at fault, any difficulty arises in the way of your meditation, that should be referred to me at once. Or you can get some guidance here with the representatives of here, just for the on the spot that is nearer to you, you can solve that thing. If not, you refer to me. One thing, that any difficulty which arises in the way of meditation, that will be solved if you move then and there. The other thing, that you will be knowing, you will not relax. You will not become slack in your doing the practices, because you know you have to submit a diary day to day. I just found out that when I asked you, just do it and show me. Yes. And both of you, just let each one of you keep it. That will be impetus, you see. I have seen that each one who are following this thing, they are having it. And why not in the case of each one of you? There is something wrong somewhere. That's all. We have not followed it exactly. I think this is all information in a brief. If you follow this thing, that is what you go on. Even at the time of initiation, some things are given. You see, we are not very attentive to follow those. This is about the human part, first practice, what I have told you. About the other practice, there are difficulties at times. Sometimes we do get hear the sound. Sometimes that dies out. Sometimes it comes from the left. You see? So we do not know how to do it correctly. At the time of initiation, these things are explained fully. But if you are fully attentive to only, then you grasp it correctly and there will be no cause for going into error. For hearing the sound, you see, you have to sit in that particular posture prescribed. That is the best posture for two things, for hearing the sound current as well as for withdrawal of the spirit current from the body. Soul current will also be withdrawn from the body. You sit it that way. Try to sit in that pose as much as possible. First of all, when you are tired, you can sit no longer. By regular practice, you will be able to sit for longer periods, but in the beginning you are not accustomed to it. In that case, sit as much as you can in that pose. Then adopt the other pose I showed to you, and I think recommended I shown to you at the time of initiation. Just keep your elbows on the chair, for instance, sit that way if you like. Sit before a cot, sit before a chair, sit before some table, put your the elbows thereon, close your ears like that. Closing the ears means only shutting off the sound from outside, nothing else. That not so much, I will say, with pressure that your eyes begin to ache or your fingers begin to ache. That. Simply so much that outer sound is shut out, that's all. And then you see, you have the seat of the soul is that here, just between the two eyes. Remain there. You are not to do no repetition of the 5 days, mind that. Simply you are there, you have to hear whether any sound is coming from inside. If at all any sound comes from the left side, you are not to any attention to it. These are negative sounds, you go down into somewhere else. So you fall in lust, you will fall in anger. Lower impulses will come. They are the right sound and they are the wrong sounds within, you see. They are the sound of the Satan sound coming from the right. You follow the sound which comes from the right side, you see. But don't follow to the place from where it comes, mind that. Stick to your place here at the eyes and hear the sound coming from the right. You follow the sound to that place from where it comes towards the result. That sound will become faint and faint and fainter until it dies out. You do the sounds. You stick to your place here and only have the sound coming from the right. That sound will come nearer, grow stronger, and ultimately come to the body. This is the right way to do it. When the sound grows stronger, you see, that will have attraction, you see, drag you up. Don't be afraid of. Sound of the thunder is sometimes very strong. That you become afraid, I am going to die. Don't be afraid of that. That will take you just into the feet of the Master within. We have to leave the love of the body, you see. We have to leave the body someday. If you, some higher power attacks you, so why don't you go up? So these are the, I think, the difficulties we have in our meditation. I think just try to give you brief. You follow these, that you will have no cause for complaint. The point remains still that you must be regularly life pure, sure and certain. Master's power, when he initiates, that always remains with you, working all the time for your good, watching and many things God intervenes without knowing yourself. You are not conscious of that part of yourself inside. With all that is happening. So that is all about how to meditate correctly, accurately.